Okay, people, I am out here in the middle of nowhere. I had to ford one stream, blast through dirt road for a few miles, all to get to this dry riverbed. So let's go check it out. It's gonna be 90-some degrees again today, but humidity is low. Not uncomfortable. Looks interesting. Lots of cobbles. Apparently this lava, again, basalt, which means it was quite liquid, flowed for over 20 miles from Black Butte, which was a shield volcano. Made a huge layer, and then the old stream worked its way and eroded its way through here. So let's go check it out. Okay, here's the scoop. This is the Big Wood River, which flows down from Sun Valley. Obviously, it's cut its way through this basaltic layer. The reason there's no water right now is that a large dam was built for irrigation purposes, and they shut off the water to build up their reservoir during periods of time. So right now, no water. The gravel here in the bottom is from upriver, up in the mountains. Most of these rocks aren't from around here. They're like 50 miles away. They're all types. Of course, that's the basalt. That one's a quartz. You got dacite, andesite. But most of these rocks, particularly these rocks like this, are quartz, and they are super hard. So you can imagine those rocks coming down through here, banging in to the walls of this canyon, and that's what scours out and makes all these unusual forms. It's almost like modern art. You can take one of these rocks like this and put it in front of a building in a major city, and it would be artwork. Pretty cool. Okay, let's go downstream a ways. By the way, the geologists call these river pebbles, the scours, bed load. Here's a pothole. think I'll see quite a few of those, and I'll explain what those are a little later on. You can tell by the sound of the rocks how hard these pebbles are. Wow. Have to admit, it's a cool place. Look at the shine on those walls where it's been polished. Basalt itself is not a soft rock, so it's not that easy to erode. But the power of the floods in the spring, when the snow melts off the mountains and these rocks embedded in the water, can really do some damage. I'm coming across some water. Looks like it has stopped my progress. I may have to turn around. One good thing, looking at the sky, there's not going to be any flash floods today. This is not where you would want to be caught in a flash flood. No escape. Up in here, you can see the rock is fractured. Another kind of interesting thing, you can see down low here, the basalt, when it cooled slowly. But near the surface, it was cooled more quickly, and it still had the gas bubbles enclosed. And again, those are called vesicles. And a lot of times you can tell what direction the lava is flowing by the slant of those bubbles, because they're wanting to go horizontal, but the lava flows the downstream, making the bubbles make an arc. How do you like that? Let's look at all these formations that are just formed by random water currents. Oh, by the way, that little white rock on there, that's to kind of show me where my exit point is. Down in here it all looks pretty much the same. no way of telling where your car is. So, at least that's my plan. Of course, if I don't see the white rock, I'm screwed. Kind of rough terrain. Wow. Look at that. The seashell. Okay, here's a really cool feature. It's called a pothole. The way this works, the water comes down, again with our pebbles, and when they get in a depression, they're called grinders. And here we go. That one in particular is real resistant to abrasion. So what happens is the water comes in and it causes a swirling motion. And as that swirls around and around and around and around, it bores a hole right into the rock. So it can get pretty deep. It can even make a tunnel into the other side. So again, those are called grinders in a pothole. What do you think about that? Again, these are all igneous rocks. There's 3 types of rocks: igneous, sedimentary, which is like limestone that precipitated out of the remains of ancient sea creatures. And there's metamorphic. And metamorphic, as the name kind of refers to, is a rock that changes from one type to another under extreme heat and pressure, sometimes like 15 miles below the Earth's surface. These rocks can be squeezed and heated so they change characters. Depending on the composition, you either get a schist or a gneiss. A gneiss has a lot of biotite and micas in it. Also, there's a couple types of igneous rocks. If the rock or the lava comes to the surface and is extruded, that's called a extrusive igneous rock. And that's what your basalt are and your rhyolite. The only main difference between basalt and rhyolite is the rhyolite has a lot more silica in it. So it's a lot thicker, more of a toothpaste consistency or more. For that reason, it doesn't expel its gases nearly as easy. So those areas that are erupting with rhyolite, again, has more silica. They are much more explosive volcanoes. They also make more of a stratovolcano. There's shield volcanoes, which are kind of flat and slightly domed. Those are the ones that kind of spew out all these miles and miles of basalt. And then rhyolite Comes more from like Mount Baker in Washington, where I was in September. And those cliffs are real white from the rhyolite that's in the magma. So again, intrusive, that's where you get your granites. That's the lava that kind of pushed its way up from deep in the mantle and never made it to the surface. So it kind of solidified. There's things called plutons. And a pluton is basically a bubble of magma that cools into granite. Now the Bitterroot Mountains up here, if you get a huge pluton, that's called a batholith. So the Bitterroots are underlain by a huge granitic batholith. Wow. Hoi. I thought I heard another person, but it was just a bird. You can see the lichen on the walls up on top. It's a mourning dove. Morning, dove. There's a yucca poking its nose up over the rim. Wow. Look at that. There's a feature with a piece of basalt stuck in the crotch. That one kind of looks like an eagle. Mother Nature's pretty impressive. The advantages of studying some of this stuff is that you appreciate it more. And look at this piece right here, how the water has come down. I just sculpted that smooth ridge right there. Wow. Okay, more super cool formations. Wonder how they're formed. That was like a horn sticking out from the wall. There's another horn. Look at that. You would think a rock would have hit that and broken it off. But like I said, the basalt in itself is a pretty hard rock. Particularly the ones that don't have many vesicles in it. They're pretty dense. Ah, looky here. There is a pothole with water in it. And sure enough, there are the grinders down in there. In Canyonlands National Park in Utah, they have one area that has several quite large potholes, and they pretty much remain full of water. So the animals use them during drought periods for their water. But there's another pothole. Oh man. That one looks like a mountain monster coming to get you. You can let your imagination run wild. And again, there's your lichen. You see red lichens, orange, yellow, gray, green. Here's a whole series of grinders in there. This one has formed a connection, almost an underground tube, but down here, more little potholes. Come around here, another pothole of grinders. Up top there, that looks like pillow lava. So whenever that lava came in contact with the water, it formed those formations. You can see it's a lot more porphyritic or porous. So the water in the aquifer flows through lava like that a lot easier than this stuff that has to go through cracks. Hello. Here's an interesting granite. That's a porphyritic granite. The little white or pinkish dots, those are potassium feldspar. The way what porphyritic means is that the one element here precipitated out and made the feldspar. But then it was erupted out of the volcano, and the rest of it didn't really form in the minerals like the feldspar. So it has more of a kind of a dark matrix with not many crystals. So it kind of tells you how it was formed by looking at it. But those are potassium feldspar. They're kind of a pinkish crystal. Here's another neat feature in this huge boulder. You can see it was like similar to a pothole, but you can see how the rocks swirled around, and look how shiny that is. And it just went around and bored a hole right in that rock. Mother Nature's water fountain, or water feature. You can see water would come in, run into this depression, slide down, flow over, go into that pothole, swirl around, spill over this little spillway, and then down. And it also happens up here. So it spills, goes around and around, spills over a little sluice, down to another pothole, then over that little funnel and out. Aha, another pillow lava. Well, like I said, I'm out in the middle of nowhere, haven't seen a person. I'm probably 10 miles from a person. There's the gulch. And there's my car. You can see a little dust. Again, it's supposed to be 96 today, but blue sky, low humidity, so tolerable. I just got a drink. Okay, on to the next spot. Wow, look at the size of that thistle bush. Here's one of the irrigation canals that they built. And that's one of the reasons that there's not water right now in the old Wood River. I came to this, so I'm a little bit out here. I'm not sure, I may have to double back. I'm not sure where things go in that direction. So water flows pretty rapidly here. I don't know if you can see this stuff going by, but it's moving. Okay, here, my water feature. I checked it out first time. It seems to be solid base, not too deep, so I made a run for it. So let's do her again. Holy gee! Made it. I got stuck out here. Might be a few hours or days until I was found. Yeah, boy.